What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so we're going to be doing a react to a video recommendation or a channel recommendation. I feel like Liva Kivi did mostly flashcards to reach a high level in Japanese. Maybe react to one of his update videos. I had no idea who that is, so I went and searched his name. Apparently, this is the dude right here. He is a yellow dog out of Japan. Okay. So I had a look through the videos, and the one that catches my attention is actually why I'm going to stop using Anki for learning Japanese. Seems like it could be an interesting react. Let's go. Okay, what do we got? 298 cards, 23,000. Woof. That's a lot of mature cards. Dude's learnt a lot of words.
Finally reached 25,000 Anki cards, aka 25,000 Japanese words, which is a 5,000 word increase compared to where I was last year, and it also means that I have exactly 5,000 words to go until I hit 30,000 words, which is the finish line goal that I set for myself at the start of this year. However, I think I'm actually going to stop adding new cards to Anki now at 25,000 instead. To explain the reason why, I first have to explain why I'm still doing Anki in the first place. So, back in 2023, when I hit 20,000 cards, I actually stopped adding new cards for a while as well, but I had this lingering feeling as if I had stopped a little too early, especially because I still had some very low-hanging fruit that I could easily grab to improve my Japanese, such as mining actual books which I had never done before, so eventually I started making cards again. I announced that I was going for 30,000 words at the start of this year, meaning that I needed to mine around another 10,000, which was a goal that was intentionally overkill for the sake of reaching a point where
27 words a day. That's a lot of words. That's pretty intense. Like, as I've said multiple times on this channel, I aim for about 15. It's just so the reviews don't get out of hand, because that means in about a month I'm doing about 40 minutes of reviews. My cards for those types of words when I was doing it, because I actually stopped recently because the whole Lingo Pi series I've got going, they were getting pretty complex. I might talk about that sometime.
To a climatic conclusion. But now, 5,000 words into the challenge, I feel like my Japanese has already improved so much that I've already gained what before I felt like I was missing out on. Now, despite this discovery, I was still planning.
I wonder if that's because he deleted his deck. Because he showed there a picture of him with 8 cards in an empty deck. Sometimes removing a deck allows you kind of to reset things and like just start adding new words and not have to worry about so many reviews for cards that you're most likely going to remember. And if you still don't remember them, like you keep forgetting them, you probably need to remove them anyway and just wait for them to come up in a more relevant context.
Planning on finishing what I started, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that continuing to grind Anki might actually not be the best idea. So there are multiple reasons why mining beyond 25,000 just doesn't make sense for me anymore. To start with a practical one, at my current level, finding 30 new words every single day is becoming increasingly, well, impractical.
Bro, what a flex. What a fucking flex. Could you imagine that? You're like, it's kind of hard for me to find 30 new words, bruh. They need to add more words to this language so I can add them, bruh. Fucking flex.
Essentially, if I want to get my daily goal done in a reasonable amount of time, say in around 1 to 2 hours, I am forced to consume content that specifically fulfills that need. For example, recently I've been reading Wagahai wa Neko de Aru, which is a book written in 1906, so it uses a lot of archaic words and
yeah, this is when you know you've gotten really deep into it. I ended up doing this in Esperanto, where I'd read pretty much everything I wanted to read in the present, and then I started reading like all the old Esperanto books. And by the way, there are old Esperanto books, like it's over 130 plus years old now.
Sure that I'm using a version that isn't completely modernized, and I also strip away all the furigana, so I'd only rely on my kanji knowledge for comprehending the book. And despite taking such extra measures, I actually understand most of the expressions.
So it looks like he just has a sentence on the front. And then... I'm sorry, I'm reading this as Chinese. But like, how's this work? So he's got it there, and then he's got it here. It's got no definition or anything? Audio?
I mine just from the kanji and context. But if I become really picky with...
Or maybe this is actually just the front of the card, and it's not showing the back.
what I mine. I'm just never going to make 30 new cards in a single day. But at the same time, I do mine a lot of very obscure vocabulary that quote-unquote might not be worth mining. And the reason this is a problem at all is because I have a very limited time budget for learning Japanese, which means that if I have such a daily goal, I have no choice but to only mine and immerse with such content, which is unfortunate because, for example, recently I found a YouTube channel that I kind of enjoy, but I cannot justify spending time on watching it because I know that I won't find enough words for my daily goal, which, when you think about, is kind of backwards.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid at that point. This happens when you kind of get into the motion of doing a set habit every day. It's kind of like... It happened with me in the Dreaming Spanish series as well, where I was doing 3 hours every day of just input. And then when, as part of the method, I had to change over to doing like production and reading, it's still, even now, hard for me to do those other things because I'm still mentally, I just want to sit down and just do the input. Like, that's just... It's hard to break away from.
Now, don't get me wrong in the sense that I am enjoying the book with the cat, and I actually do need to do many lookups to fully understand it, meaning that it's not super easy for me, and I do benefit from mining it and then reviewing what I mined using Anki. However, and this is important, unlike last year, I feel like I've reached a point where instead of spending so much time on strengthening my existing as well as new knowledge using Anki, I'd rather just spend more time on actually reading the book, even if it means that I have to do more lookups in the future, because many of the new words I'll encounter will just go in from one ear and out the other. Essentially, thanks to having mined an additional 5,000 words, mostly from books, I feel like my Japanese has improved to the extent that now I find it easier to enjoy even more difficult content, which psychologically means that I don't find enough value in actively increasing my vocabulary anymore to justify spending so much time on Anki that it takes away from time that I'd otherwise spend on reading or watching content that can potentially have a much higher impact on my life than reviewing flashcards will. To put it simply, using Anki to learn another 5,000 words is no longer aligned with my goals. Now, don't get me wrong, Anki 100% works, it's effective and time efficient. However, it is inherently a means to an end, and the end no longer justifies the means for me. This is also why I don't want to do, let's say, only 10 new cards a day either, because at such a pace, I'd have to do Anki for at least another 800 to 900 days, and even if I would find it manageable, I'd rather just stop at 25,000 and put my time into something that isn't reviewing.
Yeah, like, I can also understand why he wouldn't want to, because think about it like this, when he stops using Anki and he just starts, enjoying the language, I guarantee you, in some ways, he's going to go backwards in progression. Because, like, a lot of those words are only staying because they exist in Anki and he's, like, reviewing them at regular intervals. But once he stops using Anki, he's going to lose a lot of that. It will actually slowly, like, seep away. And then in some ways, he's going to, like, go backwards. But at the same time, you're here to learn a language. So you might as well use it now that you've got the words. Like, as an insane amount of words going... I feel a challenge coming. Stop it, Evildea. You got too many challenges noted. I've got a notepad of challenges written down at this point, okay?
Flashcards. Because keep in mind that having a daily sentence mining and Anki goal is also a responsibility that binds you to a specific type of lifestyle which enables it. And to be completely honest, there is an ulterior motive I have as well, which is that I want to go outside and actually enjoy the summer this year.
I want to go outside. It sounds like he's become a troll, locked in the basement doing reviews.
As well as put some time into a certain series instead of sitting inside doing Anki and making flashcards all day.
He must spend a lot of time every day. Like, he didn't say here, but like the fact that he just said making flashcards, sitting inside all day, that's just a lot of time. Because like, if I'm at 15 cards getting, like 60, 70 reviews a day, he's at, what was it, 30 or something? He must be getting several hundred, I reckon, per day.
Anyway,
Okay, maybe we can see the stats here. Okay, does it show anywhere? 131 reviews a day. There you go. So 131 reviews a day. That's actually not as bad as I thought. I guess because a lot of them are so mature that they're just not showing up anymore. Due tomorrow, 255. Oh, okay, there you go. No, it's still pretty high numbers.
Moving forward, I'm not going to be adding new cards to Anki anymore, as I've decided to stop at 25,000 instead of making rather big sacrifices in my life for some arbitrary numbers such as 30,000. I feel like language learning as a hobby isn't something you should sacrifice other aspects of your life for, because at the end of the day, language is a tool for communication. Don't confuse the means for the end. And actually, for the last 300 cards, I did something interesting. I wanted the final cards to contain information that's actually worth learning. So I generated, as well as took some pre-made cards that contain, for example, the names and locations of all the prefectures, important city names, most common Japanese female, male, and surnames, wards of Tokyo, and so on. So, even though I'm still going to be doing reviews for the cards that I already have for quite a while, consider this video my announcement that this time, I've truly graduated from making Anki cards, and honestly, now that I've made this decision, I am much more excited than I was before to keep on exploring what this language has to offer, so I'll see you in the future.
Congrats to the guy for getting that far. Like, clearly he knows the language quite well at that point. What's the most I ever got in one deck? I think the most I ever got in one deck was like, and this was probably my Esperanto deck back in the day. I don't even have an Esperanto deck anymore, but that was like 4,000 words. 25,000 words is just insane. Guys, let me know down in the comments section, how big are your decks? Yeah, how big are your decks? I'll see you all in the next video, and if you're not there, I will be observing your deck from a distance.